Welcome to Rising Tides Live. I'm your host, Sean Walchef, with my co-host, Stover, in the house. This is our weekly show. We do this every Wednesday, every Friday, live on LinkedIn, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. If you guys are watching, we appreciate you. We believe a rising tide lifts all ships. This community started on the social audio app Clubhouse, moved to LinkedIn audio, and here we are live. We want you, the listener, to join us. So if you're listening on the digital hospitality feed, please come and join the live show. It's a chance for you to be on a live podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about 2024, moving into 2025.
No, I can't believe it. It's not happening.
It's happening. 2024, the year of the Mamba, into 2025. We're going to do quick reviews, any lessons that you've learned, any big plans that you have. This is an opportunity for you, the community, wherever you are in the world. We do this show every Wednesday, every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. London time. We have digital hospitality leaders all over the globe. We're going to let you guys in real quick. Stover, you and I've been deathly sick for the last week. The fact that I'm here now, I'm really excited. I was excited about this show. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it, but I knew the community and team would be able to handle it without me. Thank you guys for doing the holiday Christmas show. I appreciate it.
Sean doesn't like to miss work.
I don't. I have a serious FOMO problem. I have a serious FOMO problem. But real quickly, Stover, you and I, we work very closely together on a day-to-day basis. Can you, 2024, what were the things that stood out to you?
You know, I say this every year, and it's crazy how much every year feels so momentous, because we start in one direction, right? And we say last year was huge. What are we going to do this year to make it bigger? And we almost sort of have an idea, but we don't really know. And then we have that first half of the year where we're chugging along, and then all of a sudden it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the thing we had to deal with this year, which was different than the rest of the years, is scaling.
Yeah.
Taking our team and really taking it to the next level so we can get more shows, more content, more partners, and really grow what we're doing. And so for me, this year was truly tremendous in that this is a realization of what we've been talking about for many years, having a literal media company with media money that's self-sustaining, that is growing, where we're doing new and exciting stuff in the world of digital media. But it all started out of a restaurant.
Yeah.
And so for me, that story, I don't want to lose track of as we continue this path, the fact that we are a media company that is a restaurant, because I think that's the secret sauce to what we always talk about. Like everyone listening, all the people in our community, we have businesses. We can't just do media without a business. It makes no sense. Nowadays, everyone has to do media and have a business. So how do you make media about your business? So again, 2025 is going to be bigger, which is scary and exciting. But I know that we have the team now to handle that growth, which makes me really, really excited for what's about to come.
Yeah, I definitely second having a team and scaling the team, knowing that we can't do everything. I mean, not only just on the media side, but also on the restaurant side. We're putting in systems and organizations, and Eric has finally moved up from, the general manager of the restaurant for 16 years to trying to be the CFO, which he's always been the chief financial officer. But it's not just for the restaurant side of the business, it's for the media side of the business, and putting systems and procedures in place from a restaurant standpoint and a media standpoint it's an exciting place to be. I think for me, the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to in 2025 is, I always say, I'm weirdly available. I believe I will always be weirdly available, but I think 2025 is going to be a year of weirdly intentional. I want to be weirdly intentional with who we partner with, why we partner with them, because that's the only way we're going to maintain quality and improve the partnerships that we do have and who we want to work with. We don't have to work with everybody. And I think I need to, make sure that that is a mantra, that just because there are people out there that need our help or want our help, we have to align with values. And if we align with values, then we can get really excited about the work that we do, not only for ourselves, but the work that we do for them. What do you think?
There's only so much time.
That's right.
And time is more valuable than money, and relationships and the people you spend your time with are more valuable than a few extra dollars. That being said, we're going to make way more than a few extra dollars in 2025. I promise.
That's for sure. Let's bring up the community. The part of our favorite part of the show is us not talking, but listening to all the incredible people that we have in this community that help us with the rising tides. Let's kick it off, Mr. Troy Hooper in the house. Troy, I love the blue. This is informal Troy.
Oh, I like it. What is that? A Kraken on your
I
shirt?
think
Yeah.
so. Everyone, if you're not
Can you guys
speaking,
hear
you have
me
to turn
okay?
off your mic.
Oh yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you. I just don't want to hear myself twice.
Cool. Super casual Troy, you know, I mean, lost the collar and everything. Sean,
I like it.
Feeling better. We're back.
Is that an octopus?
That's an octopus.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, super casual. Had a couple work calls, and then this might do one more work call and then be done for the day and back to family. So, Troy Hooper, founder and CEO, Kiwi Restaurant Partners, help brands scale at speed while improving their quality. Under that umbrella, I'm the CEO of Hot Palate America, private equity holding company for Pepper Lunch restaurants. We have 533, ending the year with 533 restaurants in 17 countries now, adding Canada at scale in 2025, adding Brazil in 2026 and 7, but growing rapidly, about to open 4 stores in the next 6 weeks. So really excited. Lots going on there. 2025, what are we going to do different in 2025? To your point, Sean, more intentionality. We're actually starting our first 2 all hands meetings of the year are going to be strategic planning. So we have our budget. We know what we need to do. We have our team. We know who we're adding. We know what roles people are taking on. And now the team's going to come together and talk about strategy and how it is they are going to individually and collectively achieve all of our goals as a group, so that at this time next year, we are having the biggest party and celebrating the biggest year and being extremely, extremely excited for everything that we accomplished. So we had a great year in 23 and 24, but we want to have much more intentionality, to your point. So strategic planning sessions for the first 2 weeks of January. How do we get there? What do they need? What resources do I need to bring to the table? What do I need to go get for my team so that they can be successful? That's the goal for 2025. And it's a little different. 2023 and 24 building years for us, developing, adding, hiring, growing, getting to know each other, just a lot of do it as you go kind of stuff. And now we need to be really, really thoughtful, because not only do we have sort of the internal franchise business that is built and needs to be expanded, but now we have stores opening that we have to support. So now we need to be in a much more dual mindset. We got to do 2 jobs now at once, is that support all these new franchise stores that have opened in the new year and that will be opening, because we're going to open about 15 to 18 more stores in 2025.
That's
so
awesome.
Lots of growth coming on. And so we got to be more strategic and intentional.
Well, we are super proud of Mr. Hooper and the entire Pepper Lunch team. You've been a part of the community since the beginning, since we started this crazy show back on Clubhouse, and thinking about you having no Pepper Lunch job to the job that you're doing now, not only with Pepper Lunch, but also with Kiwi Partners, the investments, the conversations of huge leaders that have want to partner with you, back to who do you partner with and why do you partner with them? There's really exciting things coming in 2025. Earl Chavez, Big Earl's Barbecue, first time on the show, Rising Tides Live. Earl, what's up, my friend? Can you let the room know who are you? What are you working on? And what are your thoughts for 2024 into 2025?
2024, basically, so Big Earl's Barbecue. We're up here in Northern California, a little town called Ukiah. Not much hospitality up here, so we're learning and we're teaching. I've been following you guys for a long time, so I've been sharing a lot of stuff, and I've been really trying to work with the local and small catering businesses around here. I'm a nobody, but I can only share what I know, what I've received, and what I've been told, and try to pass that on. I don't hide that information. I have a meeting tomorrow with a small little catering company, barbecue in Eureka, that reached out that, hey, we don't know what to do. We don't know where to go. Can can we just sit down and pick your brain about something? So listening to you guys are at some next levels, but I'm learning from what you guys are doing. You know, Troy opening all these things, strategic planning, all those type of things. We're doing those. We're just at a smaller level. You know, I have a small team. We focus primarily on catering, and we also do large events, festivals around the towns, all the way to we have some clients even down in San Jose. You know, so that's 2.5, 3 hours away from us. So when we have those clients, and every year they book us, and so we travel everywhere. They basically in Northern California, we'll go there. We specialize obviously in Santa Maria style, tri-tip, California. Everybody wants tri-tip. Every single person, even all these clients that come from Texas, they want tri-tip. They don't want brisket. They want tri-tip. So all I'm doing is preparing. So obviously with the catering company, we got repairs nonstop. Everything that broke, we had to put to the side because it was just an insanely crazy, profitable, busy, and fun 2024. I mean, it was amazing. And we learned so much. We learned so much every single event. So we're doing repairs right now, and we're going to be focusing on the first of the year training. We got to bring on 3 new staff for this year, just because we're taking on bigger and bigger and bigger events. Right now we can run about sometimes 3 weddings in one day, stretched all over the place, you know? So that's really what we're doing. We're going to be more, everything is going to be on purpose this year. So we'll have everything planned out. We already got weddings booked out for the 2025 season. We'll already going to start planning and have somebody that's in charge of those, and already have the team built and already have it on the schedule, rather than kind of work a month by month. We're just going to have it all planned out. So everything is going to be strategic, and everything is going to be on purpose this year. And this year it's going to be okay for me to say, no, I'm sorry, we cannot do that this year. I'm sorry. It won't fit our schedule at this point. So a lot of times we would do things and maybe sacrifice the experience that the people, our clients, paid us to be at or do something, because we pulled staff from that. So this year, if it's not aligned with our values and not aligned with what we're trying to do and accomplish for the year, it's going to be okay for me to say no.
That's awesome.
That's really what we're working on.
We're so happy that you're here. I hope you keep coming back. It was so cool to see you and your wife at the California Restaurant Show. We got to do that 7 shifts content with Jason Berkowitz. Huge fans of everything that you do, and the fact that there are people in every community that are willing to ask for help. They just don't know where to go to ask for help. So the fact that you're out there doing things that are inspiring other people, and they have the courage to ask you for help, that's awesome, man.
Yep.
Congratulations. Really cool. Jordan Silverman, what's up, my friend?
Hey, everyone.
Big
Happy
2025
Friday.
coming up. Happy Friday.
Yeah, good to see everyone. Yeah, I'm very excited for 2025. For those of you that don't know me, I am Jordan, CEO and co-founder of Starfish. It's pretty interesting. Well, let me say what we do. We are an AI analysis tool for restaurants and bookkeepers. So at the end of every day, we tell you what are the 2 or 3 things you need to do to be more profitable. When I look back at 2024, like the highlights for me are less about the business side. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and it's crazy what 1.5 versus 2.5 is, right? It goes from walking to running, and mama to like full sentences where she disagrees with me on everything. And life is now one big negotiation where she knows if she asks for 1 piece of cake, she can basically get me down to half a piece of cake, no matter where we started. So 2024 was a really good year on the personal side. Business-wise, we really started hitting the ground running in 2024. Our first customer signed up November 2023, and 2024 for us was all about figuring stuff out. So I know Stover talked about this year was about scaling. That's next year for us. Next year, we're going to go raise our first round of capital. We're going to start growing the team, and we're going to really start growing this thing. So I'm really excited for what 2025 has to hold.
What are you looking for when you're hiring?
Entrepreneurial mindset. That's the number one thing. And I think that's like a hard thing to quantify, But when we're this early, there are no job descriptions. You do a little bit of everything. So I need someone that's going to roll up their sleeves and just be an entrepreneur for a company, not their own.
That's great. That's a great answer. Super proud of you, man. It's been awesome to
I
have you in the
appreciate it.
community. We can't wait to see what Starfish does and all the events and shows that we'll be putting out our calendar. I think that's something that my team will be a little bit more intentional with. And I'm looking at Kyle and Stover, is figuring out what our actual travel schedule will be, so that we can do digital hospitality, Rising Tide meetups in real life. Events that I'm not at, Troy will be at, but we will make sure that we cover the gambit. So wherever you are in the world, if you're at one of these hospitality, restaurant, leadership events, we can all meet up. Elizabeth Doss, welcome.
Hi there. I'm just over here laughing at Stover's analog emojis. He's just holding up random pieces of paper in front of the camera. Little
Borat,
stickers.
very nice.
Anyway.
Analog
Those
emoji.
are
I
real
like
life gifts.
real life gifts.
Exactly. Showing that emotion. My name is Elizabeth Doss. I'm a motion graphic designer, but I specialize in working with brands and creating a library of animated GIFs for them to use across social media to engage with their community and to kind of build up that conversation around their product, bring some humor, all the wonderful things. So I was thinking about this question, you're bringing up, and one thing, and when you go to apply for a job, a lot of times they ask that question of where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, you may not be applying for a job currently because you're working, all of y'all are working your butts off, but it's still a great question to ask yourself. And so I've been in this place of kind of asking myself, okay, what part of what I do I love? And what part don't I love? And how can I start making decisions and choices that maneuver me closer to doing the parts of this that I really love, and potentially farming out the things that are that someone else could do and probably do it a little bit better, or a lot better. And so I've been thinking along those lines, and of really honing down onto the things that I love about what I do. And so what's great about that is one thing, I love the creative. I love coming up with ideas. I love to do that and think about how to take your product and how can we run it through this trend or this idea or this humor, and how can we mash those things up. That's something I love to do. What I don't necessarily love to do is the grind part of that. I hate emails. Well, that's a whole other beast. But how can I do more of the ideating? And so what I love is that I've kind of put that out there in my own brain, in my own heart. And then like within a week or so, I had someone contact me, not asking me to create content or do anything, but really just to brainstorm with them. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm really wanting to do and be able to do. Anyway, so I'm excited about that. But my other thing I wanted to throw into this is this idea of throwing away the whole idea of New Year's resolutions. Maybe not throw it away, but tweaking it and saying, a lot of people will make resolutions about numbers that they cannot control. They say, I want to lose 30 pounds. They say, I want 5,000 new followers. I want to get 10 new clients. And some of those numbers you cannot control. But getting in the mindset of what are the numbers that I can control. So maybe not the 30 pound, like aiming for like a poundage number. Aim for, I'm going to get up and exercise every day. I'm going to check that box off. That is the goal, not just that other number. The 5,000 followers, sure, you could buy those followers if you want to control that number. But what about saying the number I can control is that I'm going to try to post once a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week. That is a number I can control. I can actually put that one out there. Same with getting 10 new clients. Sure, you could put that number there, but why not turn that and say, you know what, I'm going to schedule 10 minutes a day to comment thoughtfully on someone's LinkedIn post and start to change up what numbers that you're looking at. And so that's what I'm kind of looking at in the season, but also gamifying things. That's where I'm headed with my own personal stuff is is rewarding. Setting up a game system in my own little brain of the tasks that I have to do, pick the 5 things I've got to do that day. And if I do all 5 of them, then I get to pick something off my Amazon wish list, or I put a little bit of fund into something bigger that I'm working towards, but giving myself that little bit of an incentive to get things done. So those are some of the things that I was thinking about: the 5-year plan, the numbers you can and can't control, and then also gamifying what things, the tasks that I need to get done. So I'll hand it back to you.
Awesome. Very cool, Elizabeth. We appreciate it. Yeah, Jordan put Atomic Habits, which if anybody hasn't read the book Atomic Habits, it is absolutely phenomenal. I think we could all use a reread of Atomic Habits if you've already read it. It's that good. But yeah, the little things. How do we do the little things, and how do they compound on each other? Dean LeBay, you just held up a book. Start with why. Dean, who are you? What do you believe in, and what are your plans for 2025, my friend? You got to unmute. There you go. Oh, you had it.
Still on mute, Dean.
Try. There we go.
All right. How about that? We
Oh,
working
yeah.
now? Oh yeah. We cooking with gas, baby. We cooking with gas. Listen, it took me a while to get here, but yeah, man, life's good. Good book. Highly recommend. I'm through my second read on this, and then I know you've read this, but that's a good book too.
Brilliant. Building a Story
anyway,
Brand. For those that are listening, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm good. What's the question?
The question is, what's going to be different in 2025 for Dean?
Oh, everything's different. Everything's different for 2025. We got a new administration coming in on the 20th. We got 100 days that changes are going to be made. The restaurant industry, I think, I take this just from people I've talked to. I think the independent, the 1s and 2s restaurants are going to boom. I think technology is the key. I think a lot of the back end technology is coming around, back the house equipment side of it. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to put people that are in the tech space that are selling SaaS software, try to get them connected with people that are doing other kind of things and maybe intersect them together. I'm still putting the pieces together, but I'm working on that. And that's it. I'm just glad I finally got here. I mean, it took a while. So anyway, thanks.
Persistence and consistency, Dean.
Persistence. That's right. That's right, big man. All right, I'm out of here. I'm not out of here. I'm trying to put this on mute.
Okay. Gavin, what's up?
Hey, everybody. I'm Gavin, producer for Cali BBQ Media, working with our external clients to amplify their message and reach a broader audience. And I think if I go big picture with in the industry of podcasting for 2025, I would say, there's a lot of talk about the emphasis of video. That's clearly been demonstrated by Spotify and all the companies wanting to, YouTube obviously, and that discoverability of it. I think I'm not going to push against that, but I will say that I think that the value in the short form video is immense for getting people to listen. But I do think that in 2024, we saw again that authenticity and the authenticity and intimacy that podcasting is able to bring is so different than any other form of media. I mean, someone tuning in for an hour with you, especially while they're doing other things, you don't necessarily, need video if you're going to be listening and washing dishes. So I think it was kind of a reminder of that. And we saw in some ways that podcasting took over for legacy media. I think there's just so much trust there. So I think that was kind of a cool reminder of what podcasting is and what it can be. And I think in 2025, the creators that are going to really excel remind people of that. And, even looking at advertisers, I think there's going to be more brands, companies that were hesitant to go into podcasting and to advertise there. they're going to see the value in that, because the listener base in a podcast is way more valuable to me, I would think, than a legacy brand where they're not as engaged. They don't have that level of trust. So I think that's something that I'm excited about, because I'm an audio guy in general. I came from radio, so I'm excited to think about that, the value of podcasting, kind of reminding people what it is, and that trust, that level of intimacy that you get. It doesn't have to be a long form video. I think video. Oh, this is Troy's nightmare right there.
I love it. Yeah.
Maybe another symbol for 2025. We'll see. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the innovation. That's one of the things I love about the podcast space, is the constant innovation. Obviously 2024 we saw with AI. I think in 2025 AI is going to be so integrated that it's actually not going to be as needed to have the flashy, hey, we have an AI feature, purple sparklies everywhere. Like, it's going to be so ingrained, you're not even going to need that messaging. It's going to just be in the back, and like, it's just going to be rolling. And then on a personal front, I will be starting with the NFL Network in 2025, working on a podcast called the NFL Daily. Still going to be with Cali BBQ and doing amazing things with our clients, but I'm excited for that on a personal front.
We're so proud of you, man. That is absolutely game-changing, working for NFL Network. I know it's a dream come true. We're grateful for you. We're going to be cheering you on. It's absolutely amazing, man. So happy. Kyle Pfluger, mic is yours.
What is up, my friends? Can you guys hear me all right?
It's a little low.
A little low. Is it help if I turn my head this way?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm experimenting with a new setup, so that's my change.
Well, don't put. We don't want to see the side of your head. How about you move the mic next time?
Then I'm just gonna lift up the whole laptop, and I'll just bring it over.
Yeah, there you go, like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first change. I decided yesterday I was going to completely reconfigure my workspace. I needed I don't know. I needed to funk up the feng shui a little bit, and get some different vibes going. So got a little bit of a different background. Instead of staring at a wall right here, I now get to look out. My garden's right in front of me. Got a big garage door over to the right, so I get
there we go.
A bit of sunshine. So yeah, that was the first item on my list for what
the lighting's really good.
Yeah. You know, I had to bring out the pores.
I like it. Yeah.
If you guys look carefully, you see some of the gray in my beard. So
usually I have the actual sun behind you.
Yeah.
So it's like you're like this angelic figure of Kyle.
Got a new webcam and everything, man. I'm leaning into it.
I like it.
Ordered a boom mic for boom stand for my mic, so should be good. Yeah, but I love what I've heard from everybody so far. Elizabeth, one of the things you mentioned, and something that I've tried to lean into a little bit more over the last few years, and I'm going to push even harder on it this year. I think when it comes to setting goals, I think there's a lot of sort of dangers and pitfalls that we fall into of setting ourselves up for failure. And one of the ways that I've tried to combat that, whether they be personal goals, Troy. Oh, you're taking Sean down.
Starting to get really sick again.
That's too good.
Sorry about that, Kyle. Suck it, Gavin.
You're good.
It's got really stinky in here. I don't know what happened.
We're definitely clipping that. So that's awesome. But what I was going to say is when it comes to setting goals, I've become a big fan of setting goals for the process and not the results. And it sort of speaks to what you were talking about of like, set the goal of getting up and going for a walk every day for 30 minutes, or set the goal for incorporating something into your day-to-day. I find that when we set these goals of like, this is what I insist on the end result being, I think we miss a lot of the nuance along the way. And I think we miss a lot of the things that are important about the process and the other things that we may be able to learn along the way, the other things that we may be improving on, right? You know, using the health analogy, right? Like, let's say, we want to lose weight, very common goal for people as they start the new year, right? We want to drop a certain amount of pounds. But just the act of getting out and exercising, like you were saying, Elizabeth, just doing the exercise has so many other benefits that might not translate exactly to, pounds on a scale. But so yeah, I would encourage everyone just kind of leaning into that, find goals that align with the processes, and the results will work themselves out. They're going to come one way or the other. And then beyond that, I think one of the biggest things that I'm going to focus on this year is delegation, and trying to do more of that, figuring out the parts of my own business that I can delegate, allowing myself to free up time to really focus on the parts of the work that I thoroughly enjoy, that I thoroughly love. There's a lot that, comes with owning a business, as I think pretty much everyone here is aware of. A lot that comes with owning a business that just kind of sucks, and I don't really want to do it. Hate doing accounting. I hate doing taxes. I hate, like you said, Elizabeth, I'm right there with you on the email inbox, all of that. So finding ways to be more efficient and finding ways to delegate some of the stuff that other people are frankly better at and enjoy more than I do. We'll find the right spots to do that this year. But excited to hear what everyone has to say today, and stoked to be here.
Awesome. Eric Farrell, welcome to the party.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Sorry,
can you turn up your volume a little bit, or speak louder?
New mic. Hang on. Might be able to fix this quickly.
Hey, while Kyle's figuring that out, I dropped a long clip snippet of copy in the chat. What Kyle's talking about, one of the things that he's talking about kind of makes me remind myself and remind everybody else about being intentional is there's a thing called the Pomodoro technique. And the Japanese are often attributed for this because they use it tremendously. I learned it from Stephen Covey in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But basically every 20 or 25 minutes, you get up, you stop working, you take a mental break, you do something else. And that could be take that walk. And they say it's 20, 25 on, 5 off. And then every 3 or 4 of those, you take 15 or 20 or 30 minutes. That's usually lunch or food. But the point being is, kind of get up and get in this routine of your brain. If you do it all the time, your brain will actually remind you. You'll be like, whoa, I need to get up. And you get up and you take a break. Often you can do that between tasks, like a good way to transition from one task to another, or one checklist item to another. It's a really powerful technique. There's actually, I've seen it on TikTok and other places. There's actually like these little clocks and paperweights. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, there it is. It's exactly what I was talking about, Sean. You can set that, you got it set for 19 minutes. Yep. You push it, 19-minute alarm, get up, move on to something else, take a break, walk around the room, kiss your wife, high five your teammates, whatever you got to do. But, or take that moment to, go outside and see the sunshine. And I'm going to send a picture out on the group chat. I happened to go outside the other day on a phone call, looked up, and I stopped in my tracks, FaceTimed the person, and showed him the sky. It was unbelievably beautiful, wispy cloud, blue sky day here in Southern California. So anyway, just something I wanted to share with everybody while Eric was getting his audio fixed.
Are we good, Eric? Go for it.
I don't know. Does it work now?
Better. Go for it.
All right. Well, this is what you get when you go to Goodwill and you find what looks like might be a suitable webcam with a mic built into it. And you're like, $6, great. That'll get me by for right now. No, probably not. I guess that points to what's going on with me for 2025. Better systems, better plans, building this thing with more strategy, I guess would be the goal. And find a way to stop getting by on little things, like don't buy a $6 webcam from Goodwill. Doesn't work.
It works. The webcam works. I don't know about the microphone portion of the webcam.
Well, all right. So I'll fix the mic portion of it instead of having to stand real close to it and like yell at you guys. I'm sorry.
That's cool. You're good.
That's my plan for 2025 is I need some better systems and some organizational shifts. That's kind of been my bottleneck for a long time is I need to build better plans for specific strategy things. And I think a lot of that's just going to come by force. The other big thing that's coming in 2025 for me, I'm probably going to go to a bunch of shows. So I'm going to run into you guys somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be NRA. I'm definitely going to High Tech in Indianapolis because that's close. So yeah, 2025 is going to be big for me. I don't know how big, but we'll see. looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Well, let's before we close the door on 2024, let's each share a story. A memorable story, something that that happened in 2024 that you won't forget. That's something that you special for you, special for your business, special for your personal life. And I'll go ahead and start. As many of you know in this community and people that have been watching, we had our biggest opportunity of the year come this year from an interview standpoint. I was able to interview Shaquille O'Neal at the Big Chicken Conference in Las Vegas. Not only was I able to interview him, but I was able to bring the Walchef Wolf Pack. So I had my wife, I had my son, I had my daughter, and thanks to Josh Halprin, who's the CEO of Big Chicken, thanks to Sam Stanovich, who is director. What's his official title, Troy? Director of Development?
Yeah, Director of Development and Construction, I think. He's in charge of all franchise sales, franchise relations, and had been in charge of making sure stores got open as well. I think he runs that opening team.
Yeah, so we got to go to Las Vegas. We got to film the entire team. We brought Cali Barbecue Media team, Aaron, Tony, Michonne, Brandon. We were all out there. And for somebody that's been podcasting since 2017, you can put big wishes on your list of who would be a dream interview to have. And I believe probably once Shaq opened Big Chicken is when he got on my list. So he opened in 2018, so that would be a lie. It would probably be closer to once we launched Restaurant Influencers. 2021 is once I really started going like, how cool would it be to interview Shaquille O'Neal? And turns out that's something that I will never forget. My son has a Shaquille O'Neal jersey above his bed now that's been signed thanks to Will from Toast, who also made it to the event. He brought a jersey. That was actually for himself, but because he's such a selfless man, he saw what a connection that Shaq and my son had. He's like, no, you got to have it for your boy. And he put that up there. So 2024, I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. We always say Bulgarian Mamba mentality, things that my grandfather taught me. But it turns out that 2024 was the year of the big Aristotle, not of the Mamba, but the big Aristotle and the big Shaquille. So 2024, that's what I got. Let's see, Big Earl, give us a memorable story from 2024.
So memorable story from 2024 is some keywords that also resonate for me is trust and delegation. So this year I was able to trust my team because we have enough maturity and they understand the business to be able for them to take on their own large wedding and large events. And that allowed me, though them doing those events allowed me to obviously spend more time with my family, but also not have to be at every single one of those events. Because previously I was I would go there for 1 hour, 2 hours, and then drive another hour, go to the next one, because I don't have to do that. So that's brought quality back to my life, as the whole reason why I started this venture was to continue to have fun, but also have the quality time with my family. So by having that and by working with these key leaders in the business, I'm able to have the time and show up to the events where they have specifically requested to have me there because it's people that I know, or it's people getting married, those type of things. So that has been a huge thing for us, and I can't really put a finger on one specific one. It's been multiple where I've noticed like, wow, I have 3 hours. What am I going to do? Like, oh, well, I'll go spend time with the kids. We'll go to the park. So that's been the key thing for 2024 for me.
I'm so proud of you to hear that. That's something, shout out to all the catering people that are in our community, people like Steven Swiderski, who's getting ready right now for the Holiday Bowl at Snapdragon Stadium. We have an incredible team that works tirelessly. I remember when I used to work tirelessly as well, right beside them. And there came a time where I got out of their way, and it turns out they're much better without me than they were with me, but it takes a lot. So very cool. Let's see here. Troy Hooper, you got one story, 2024, one special.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, right?
One shining moment as March Madness. Give us your one shining moment of 2024.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's not Pepper Lunch, the one I'm going to think of or talk about, but too many to name. You know, obviously got to go back to Singapore and Tokyo this year, and that's always an amazing experience, no matter what. But man, we've done so many things. We've accomplished so many things. But actually, it's this one. This is not just a jersey. This is one supposed to be framed on a wall. This is a personally, where is it? Personally signed. There it is.
That's the only Broncos approved jersey in my book.
Yeah. You know, and the ball is personally dedicated to. You know, I got to meet with Von Miller and a lot of his team members. For those of you who don't know, he owns a chicken farm in Elgin, Texas, and we were asked to come out there and give them some advice, talk to them about the restaurant industry, and talk to them about selling chicken in the restaurant industry and some other things like that. Got a great opportunity to go spend time with him personally, and then also go to his annual fundraising event. And he didn't give me these things. He gave me the ball. He did give me the ball. But the jersey and the helmet that you saw last week, I paid a lot of money for. But that was to support his nonprofit. And it was just a beautiful night. Him and a bunch of players and a lot of business people from around the country and a lot of them from Denver. We met in Denver and we raised money. He gives prescription glasses, 2 pairs of prescription glasses to each child in need that applies in his program. He's a foundation, raises a lot of money every year and gives those away. But got to spend some time with him personally on the business front, got to support his nonprofit. We had some time that evening where he was very humble and grateful for my efforts and for the money that I gave to the charity and all that good stuff. But that was probably one of the most memorable highlights, because meeting your, you know, sports heroes and then getting to know them personally and getting to know them in business and doing business with them in other respects just changes a lot about how you view people. So it was a great experience for 2024.
I'm so happy you shared that story with the community. Thank you, Troy. Charlie Eblin, are you able to share? Are you driving?
There we go. Hi.
There we go. Welcome to the party.
Yeah. How's everyone doing today?
We're good. What's Charlie Eblin's 2025 how's 2025 gonna be different than 2024?
Man, that's a good question. I will tell you that our reach has drastically increased for our podcast. Our show is going to be much larger. The conversations that I'm having now are totally different than they were for 2024. 2024, I was trying to hold on to the rocket ship that I was attached to, is what it felt like. You know, now it's everything is being done with way more purpose and way more strategically thinking about how I'm going to grow and who I'm going to grow with. You know, I over the last couple of days, even through the holidays, I've been having conversations with people about sponsorships of my show and becoming partners of the show. And it's crazy to me to think that, you know, just a few short 2-3 years ago, I remember standing on top of my food truck, having a conversation with Sean Walchef about how much money I should ask for this podcast that I was going to do, that I had no idea what I was doing and what I was going to talk about and the people I was going to have on the show. And every time I threw out a number, Sean would tell me that my ask wasn't big enough. And now I'm asking people for $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 for 13 shows, and, you know, $3,000 for ad reads, and I'm still, I say these things out loud, and I'm still in shock that I am and asking for this amount of money, and people don't look at me in disgust for the amount of money that I'm asking. You know, one of my partners that I've had that supplies a lot of my clothing, shirts, didn't respond back to my email with hell no, or not even respond at all. But hey, let me hear more is what their response was. So 2025 for me is really more about making sure that I'm not just getting up in the morning and doing, but that there's purpose behind what I'm doing that day. I'm not going to my restaurant today at all, which is absolutely insane. It's Friday, and I have zero plans to go to my restaurant. I'm actually getting ready to walk into the yard sale store to buy furniture for my podcast to redo our studio, to elevate our game just a little bit more. So, yeah, it's crazy to me. I've gotten some amazing support from everybody in this room, and some amazing support inside my restaurant and in my show. It's incredible, and I'm scared to fucking death. And I'm just gonna keep grinding and keep putting one foot in front of the other, and try to take some of the guidance and love and support that you guys give me every single day, and just keep trying to get better.
When is the first show on ESPN Radio?
January 11th, Saturday morning on ESPN 94.9 The Fan.
Live streaming, right? On the internet, we can listen.
Yep. If you're not in Middle Tennessee to get 94.9, you can download their app and listen to it there as well.
Listen and watch, or just listen?
Just listen. You can watch it on YouTube. The episode that we are airing first is already live on my channel. But will be the Derek Mason episode. We thought that the head coach of MTSU would be a fitting first episode for ESPN 94.9. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, this community will support you. Send us the links. Let us know how we can listen and help those numbers. Global numbers.
We just recorded commercials for it just a few minutes ago. A lot of you have been
internal commercials or external
commercials.
Are these internal? These are internal. House ads.
These are internal commercials that are going to be advertisements for our show on the radio and socials and all the things.
No, external commercials, not the in-show ads. It's the promo.
No, not the internal
promo.
Yeah,
promo for got it.
Yeah, these are promo commercials for the show.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, share with the community. We'll all give feedback. I owe you feedback, which I will give you. Jordan, share us a story. 2024.
I think anyone that runs their own business knows that time is the hardest thing to find. And like, as you grow, more and more people want that time.
Yes.
One of the best things that happened to me was I had a local rep from a POS company reach out to me. She's like, hey, like, heard about Starfish, cool what you're building, like, would love to hear more. And like, that local rep kind of like just kept passing me up the ranks higher and higher with the point of sale company until like they're now our largest partner.
Amazing.
They send us leads. It's an amazing partnership. And it was all really just because I said yes to a local rep who wanted to bend my ear about how he can increase sales. And like, we all know, like, part of me was like, who the hell am I to tell this guy how to increase sales, right? Like, I'm running a startup myself. But I think for me, 2024 was all about just saying yes and trying to meet as many good people as possible and just seeing what happens. Because what I've seen over and over again is everyone just wants to add value to each other. I said this in my intro, but we're going out to fundraise in Q1. And I've been amazed at how much other founders are willing to open up their network for intros. They're not asking anything in return. They just want to help me. And part of it is like the goodness of spreading the word, but it's also because I've helped them in the past and not asked for anything. So I think for me, the moment that really spoke in 2024 was just being open to taking meetings to different people and then giving my time with no expectation of anything in return. And when I do need something, being comfortable to ask for it.
That's awesome. Very cool. Gavin, 2024 magical moment of 2024.
Really quickly on Charlie's front, it just takes me home so much to working in sports radio. So I'm just really excited for him. The Bible Belt is like so crucial for sports radio and the amount of fans. I used to work with Clay Travis and his giant Outkick crew on Fox Sports Radio, and just they're so loyal. And I'm really excited for what he's going to do with that station and grow his audience. So that's really cool to hear. 2024 was an adverse year for my family in the sense of my wife and I both lost our jobs at different times. But also at the end of 2023, we brought little Keely Joy, you can see I'm broadcasting from her room now, into the world. And so, it was kind of a reminder of like, we both had great successes in what we were doing. And but then we also, had the tough part of it. But, family and just watching her grow over the last year. I mean, she's 14 months old now and has no idea what's going on Christmas morning, but she just loved every minute of it. And it was just so special this Christmas. And there were a lot of lessons learned, but I'm, more gung-ho than ever in this industry, and I love it. And my wife is back with Zillow, and that's amazing. So like things have turned around, and like I told you guys, I'm gonna be starting with the NFL Network as well. So I'm more excited than ever with what's to come. And I just think, God throws you challenges that you can overcome. And I think that's just something that we all have to remember, that, when there's dark days, there's always light at the end of that tunnel, and you just never know exactly why things happen. But I mean, this community alone right here, getting to meet everyone here, a rising tide lifts all boats. That's exactly what I've seen in my own life. So awesome. Really excited.
Gavin, we're so grateful for you, for Mike, for Cam, all the new people on the Cali Barbecue Media team to be able to pivot the way that we've done. Elizabeth helping us when we were on LinkedIn Live with her husband, recording and then sending us the Zoom link so that we could repurpose it on the digital hospitality. It truly takes a village. It takes a community. A rising tide does lift all ships. But, more importantly, the more quality people that we have in our community, the more that we all can do together. And I think that's a testament to everybody here that's on this call, everybody that listens, so many people that started on Clubhouse, that joined. I mean, we have people that they still consume this content, even though they don't show up to the meetings. And we're grateful for every one of you, because that if you reach out to us, to anyone on the call, we're all here to help, whatever you're building, if you're trying to get onto a podcast, launch a podcast, start a new business, start a new product, whatever you're trying to do. We're going to be here to support you guys. So Elizabeth, you got a story for us?
Yeah, sure. I sent a link to Mike, but I don't know if it came through. But probably one of my highlights of my year was my husband has been promising a trip to Europe for a long time. We were supposed to go in 2020, obviously not going to happen. But we actually got to go to England and to France in March. But my favorite part of that trip was getting to meet up with Richard Liverman and with Scott Turner, and realizing that they had never really connected, because it was just when they were both starting anyway. And so getting to connect them, and now the powerhouse duo that is happening, it's super great. But probably my story from that was getting accused of stealing the crown jewels. We were in the Tower of London, let me explain. And they have a display of all the crown jewels there. It's Queen Victoria's crown, it's King Charles's crown, it's like everybody's crown and their scepters and all the things. And I was there. I had my bright red trench coat on, my glitter notebook, and I'm pretty sure I had a fuzzy pen. I didn't. but I'm pretty sure I did. But I was standing there taking notes, like, because I was just so curious about how old some of these were and the size of some of the jewels and whatever. And one of the yeomen, who are the guards of the Tower of London, she came up to me and she was like, "What are you writing there?" And I was like, "Oh, just so I can remember." And she's like, "We don't allow that." And I was just, it just hit me really funny. Here's this like loud as everything American, like color, like full on. And she's thinking that I'm casing the joint, taking notes about what is there. Anyway, it just, Richard loves to give me a hard time, and he brings it up a lot, how many times that I got accused of stealing the crown jewels. So that's one of my stories from 2024.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Elizabeth. And shout out to Richard and Scott, parts of this community from the other side of the pond. We appreciate them. All the people that join these calls, we are grateful for you. Kyle Pfluger, give us a story, 2024, before we close the door.
Yeah, 2024 was a pretty cool year in a lot of ways. It was my first full year being entirely self-employed. I left my full-time job about halfway through 2023. A lot of that was some transitioning. I officially sort of partnered up with Sean and the team at Kelly Barbecue Media toward the end of 2023. So all through 2024, it has been me fully on my own, which just the fact that I'm still here and I'm still afloat and I still have a house and I still am able to support my family is like a massive achievement for myself, and something that I'm incredibly proud of, because I've been doing the side hustle for a long time, and it took me a while to get to a point where I felt comfortable making that leap. So that, I think, overall, just from a business perspective, that's the thing I'm most excited about, and still learning, still got a lot to learn and still figuring out a lot as I go, but excited for 2025. On a personal note, I think by far the highlight of 2024, and what I anticipate will also be a highlight of 2025, I'm going to say October-ish of 2023, my wife had the brilliant idea that instead of filling our kids' stockings in the Christmas tree with a bunch of stuff that our kids were probably going to lose interest in, that we were going to take the money that we would spend on Christmas, and her and I, we've got 3 kids, her and I were going to take each one of our kids on a trip of their own, just the 3 of us. So myself, my wife, and each child got their own trip. We spent a lot of time sort of figuring out, like, what's the perfect trip, what fits each of their personalities. So my youngest daughter at the time, she would have been 7. We took her to Florida. We got to swim with manatees. We went to Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World. That was absolutely incredible. My middle child, my oldest daughter, she was 10 at the time. We took her to New York City, went and saw a play on Broadway, did all the New York City things. And then my oldest, my son, he's a massive Chicago Cubs fan and baseball fan like myself. We took him to Chicago, and he and I got to experience Wrigley Field together, which is where the Cubs play. Got to experience Wrigley together for the first time. I've been a Cubs fan my whole life. I've planned multiple trips to Chicago for one reason or another. They'd always fallen through. So got to do Chicago with them. Needless to say, it was a massive hit. We, the kids, like, we weren't sure how they were gonna, whether they were gonna love it, or they're like, no, I want some presents, dude. Give me some toys or other cool stuff. I want a PlayStation. But they absolutely loved it. So much so that we did it again this year. So we just, as of 2 days ago, got to give them their presents with the trips. So this year we've got Boston, New York City, and we're doing a stay on a dude ranch in Georgia to go ride some horses for a few days. So 10 out of 10 recommend experience over things. Things break down, things go away, things don't matter when we leave this world behind someday. So getting to do these experiences with our kids is something that I don't think my wife's ever had a better idea in our time of being married. By far my favorite one that she's come up with, and something that we absolutely love. So very much looking forward to that again this year, but absolutely without a doubt was the highlight of my last year.
That is awesome. And just a quick programming note, we will be off for New Year's Day. So no show next Wednesday, but next Friday, January 3rd, we will have one of our leaders, Ashwin Kamlani, who this community knows very well. Ashwin is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about dynamic pricing and what Ashwin might have in store for 2025. I know he's got some things under wraps, but nonetheless, we are so grateful for Ashwin for joining this show. We hope that you guys join so we can ask him questions and we can kick off 2025 in the right way. Stover, do you got one story for us for 2024?
My story at the end of every year is how shocking how much you can do in a year is and how short that year seems, especially now with kids. My big story for 2024 is we've had a lot of like successes with our family and our kid who was having medical issues. And I don't know how much I want to get in without my kid knowing what I'm talking about on the show or whatever. It's a weird thing because you think like we're talking now, he's a kid, but in 10 years, he's not going to be a kid. But it was really hard and it was getting in the way of work, which is understandable when things are hard at home. But that's unsustainable because work in this type of job that I do is life. Work is a part of my life. It's not, it's a career, right? It's not a job. It's not like when I worked at Circuit City or like the crappy newspaper or something. This is something that we're building like as a team. So that was really hard, but things are getting so much better and they have progressively for a few months that it has also coincided with the growth of our team and the ability to have these departments now in a way that we haven't. So this virtual building that we're imagining in our heads, which is Cali BBQ Media's headquarters, started as a little a shed outside the restaurant, right? And we built a hallway to that shed. And then it got bigger and we started building around it. And what I'm envisioning now is this actual like Toast headquarters type building in my mind. We have all this empty space, but we're starting to fill it out with leaders and all sorts of people who are coming and going through this facility that's starting to get connected with great architecture and good people and good plumbers. And I'm seeing this house being built in my head for next year, and it's very exciting. And my job is going to be putting that into words and ideas that we can tell stories about to show that growth. And so for me, 2024 now is about 2025 and what we can do now that we've done this much work. We've suffered in a lot of ways, all of us personally and professionally, just like anyone has in life. And times will be tough again, but we know by pushing through, they get better and better. And that's where we're at. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm sick as hell, so I have to keep dropping off to cough and like go get water.
You're doing great. We appreciate it. Dean LeBay, you got a story you'd like to share for 2024?
Yeah, I'll be real quick. We're limited on time. 2024, my biggest achievement was my daughter graduated from college. So that's y'all been with me the whole trip when all this started back on Clubhouse and the decisions I made to come down here, not knowing what was ahead of me. So that's a big thing. I wanted to shout out Gavin. Gavin, rising tide lifts all ships because ships can carry boats. And that's what you are, and that's what this community is. We're just at the tip of the iceberg, guys. 2025 is going to be gangbusters. It's going to be confusing, but as long as you've got those around you that you can pick up the phone or text a message and say, "Hey, man, what's going on?" or "Hey, I've got this," you got it made. So listen, I'm optimistic about the future. It's 141 days till NRA. Getting in front of the sign again at 4:30. So let's rock and roll.
And that's National Restaurant Association show, not the other NRA, just for clarification purposes. For those that don't know, the Chicago National Restaurant Association show. Eric Farrell.
Okay, I'll lean in so my junky mic can be heard again. 2023, into that, I lost my job. So that was like the big fall for us. 2024 was hard. But I think for me, it can be summarized by their conception of two really important things. One, I built this business, and it was more like build the airplane and start takeoff, get the thing off the ground. And so 2025 is going to be reaching cruising altitude and then putting it into higher orbit. But the other thing is for 2024, we're expecting our 4th kid, and 2025 will see the birth of this business being bigger and better than I ever thought it could be. And also, I've got another kid coming, and that's exciting. So for all the ups and downs of 2024, 2025 has greater stuff in it, and I'm looking forward to that.
That's amazing. Well, real quickly, let's go around and do a takeaway homework assignment for 2025. Gavin, why don't you kick us off, since that's how my tiles are working out.
Hold on.
Oh, 1 second.
Sorry,
There
my
we go.
mic didn't want to unmute.
You're good.
No, kind of what we've been talking about recently on this chat right here is that you never know why things happen, but don't question it. Just stick to find out what you're good at, and that role, those positions, whatever it is with your career, you're gonna find it, and it's gonna find you. And don't doubt yourself. Pour into yourself and invest in your family. And you know, I think this was the great thing about adversity is you come through it and you find out how strong you are really quickly. I've also been through a brain tumor, and people say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're so strong with what you," and I say, you don't know how strong you are. Nobody knows how you're going to deal with something until it happens. It happens, and then you go forward. So it's 2025. We got a couple days left of this year. Let's just go forward, and we will all find out how strong we are. So
amazing. You're an inspiration, Gavin. We appreciate it. Stover, takeaway homework assignment.
Spend time with people for an extended amount of time, whether it's online or in person. We all check in. We all have quick phone calls with family, friends, relationships like this, all sorts of partners in our lives. And often it's business related, like let's meet up here, let's get dinner here, let's do that, and then you hang up. This type of stuff is important, where you spend an extended period with people of all different types and different locations, and hopefully as diverse as possible, because you're getting all these different inputs, all these different voices that you normally don't do when you're rushing through every interaction you have in life. And all the technology that we preach about is really important. However, it can get in the way of slowing down, and trying to find a way to use technology like this to actually slow down is my tip, because it's really, every year that we've done this, it's centered me, these conversations, no matter what the fucking platform is, right? We're on this one now. We'll probably be on a different one soon. We'll be the same community.
Yeah, I think being intentional. I remember interviewing Atul Sood, actually. I think it was last year, before he lost, before Kitchens United was no longer Kitchens United. But Atul Sood is an amazing man, and I actually miss him a lot. But I remember in that interview, he said something that he always takes time. If a human crosses his mind, if he's thinking about a human, he will reach out. He will text them, he will call them, he will email them. And I think we're all so busy, and we have friends that are just as busy, if not even busier. And we think that, I don't want to bother them. And then you don't think about them for another 3 months or another 4 months, and life happens just so fast. So taking the time, that if somebody crosses your mind, if you're watching a movie and there's a funny joke and it reminds you of a childhood friend, send that text message. Let them know that you're thinking about them, and you'll be surprised at how much deeper those relationships can go. Elizabeth?
Sean, take that to one step further. Atul sends memes. For Christmas, I did not get Merry Christmas. I got an Indian dance choreography meme of like jingle bells in Indian.
Awesome.
So he's got quite the humor. Take it one step further. I've got one guy in my life on my birthday. Now he does it on the birthday. Sends me a video memo. Always picks up the phone, does a selfie video. Hey, Troy, thinking about you. Happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. But that voice memo, I love when people randomly voice memos. It's always text. We're always texting each other, always sending TikToks to each other. We're doing things in a sort of a simple way. And when somebody takes that moment, does a voice memo or a video memo and just says, hey, was thinking about you, saw this, heard that, whatever, hope you're well. That's an amazing thing. We should all do that more, myself included, for sure.
I love it. Elizabeth?
Yeah, sure. I'm about to do something that it might activate your phones, but when Troy was talking about the Pomodoro method, I was thinking, yes, you can have your timers, but you could also say, hey Siri, set a timer for 25 minutes, and then she will do that. Good, she wasn't listening at that point, but but I use it when I'm cooking, but why not use it for tasks? So I was really thankful for the reminder. I'll hand it back to you, Sean.
Awesome.
You activated the self-destruct mode on my phone.
Dean LeBay, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
As we get ready to go into 2025, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And basically that's where we're at right now. We're kind of moving slow with this new platform and getting everybody acquainted with it. But as it starts to speed up, it's going to be real important that we bring new people in, because those new ideas will generate creative ideas in us. And there's a lot of new young people out there that needs those platforms. So slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful. Earl, thank you for being here, man. What's your tip, takeaway, homework assignment?
Tip and takeaway. So face-to-face. Again, Stover talked about the technology, and it's, getting us to be able to communicate faster sometimes, but being able to carry on conversations face-to-face with people when you have the time and you need to make the time for it. And I sometimes have to force myself to do a face-to-face or even a phone call, when it's much easier just to send a text and be like, what's up? And that's it. And rather than with voicemail or the voice memos, I've been utilizing a lot on that. So they can hear my voice, they can hear my excitement, and really spending time acknowledging that I need to reach out to people, and make sure that they're okay, and make sure that I stay in contact with people for that. The next one is personal growth. So this year, I try to reinvest in myself. What am I doing to help myself now, to be better, better father, a better community leader, a better hospitality person, just a better all around. So I have to, and I'm always making time for that now and making sure that's a priority for me. This year I got Georgia back on the list again to go down and cook with Bob and Big Mo Cason down there.
Sweet.
This year went Tina Cannon's whole hog class. So just reinvesting in myself and building those contacts.
That's awesome. Big Earl, we're big fans. So grateful that you joined us. We hope you keep joining us whenever you have time. Please make time. Jordan, go for it.
I loved the reminder that Elizabeth set, where when you're thinking about your goals for next year, you can't set end goals. You have to set input goals. So what will actually lead you to that success? So Elizabeth, thank you, because I think we all needed that reminder, and me especially needed that reminder.
Awesome. Thank you, Jordan. Troy Hooper.
Whether you use the Jesse Itzler's big ass calendar or you do it in some other way, get all your shit on one place, and then in whatever priority you want to do this. For me, I don't have as much freedom on work versus personal. Most people, I would say, please set your personal calendar first. Let work fill in the gaps. For me, because like some of you, I travel to a lot of conferences and conventions and I speak and all that. And so because of that, I have to be in certain places on certain days for certain things, right? My calendar is sort of filled in with work first, but I always fill in the personal calendar around that. And I try to overlap, take my family with me, meet them somewhere, make sure I don't miss birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions, things like that. So always fill in the personal events of your life for 2025 on your calendar right now. Make sure Sean's birthday's coming up very, very soon, guys. So while we don't have a show next Wednesday, let's all remember Sean's birthday, Charlie's birthday, Elizabeth's birthday, whatever that is. But put these things on your calendar. Again, use Elizabeth's tool. Hey Siri, and then tell it, put this on my calendar. But you got to get that in and block out those times on the personal as well. As we all sit here and talk about business, which is very important in our professional lives. We got to keep that other side of our heart filled as well. So that's my thought for the end of 24 and beginning of 25.
Thank you, Troy. Kyle Pfluger.
Yeah, I'll keep mine short and sweet. I know we're just about time today. One quick note, Earl, I drive through Ukiah like 2 to 3 times a year. My family and I go up to Humboldt. So you have my word. I will give you a face-to-face meeting one of these days. We'll come by the restaurant. I'm going to get some delicious food for you. I'll bring the whole crew with me. We'll be up there.
Digital hospitality in real life, belly to belly.
Yeah, we go through that. We stop in Ukiah regularly. We love that. That's when the drive gets pretty. You get to Mendocino, and it's great from there on the rest of the way. But my only note is just value the power of experience. It is just magical what happens when you just get out there and do things with the people you love. You focus on experience, find things you want to do, and don't be afraid to say yes.
Beautiful. Eric Farrell, wrap us up.
A lot of my homework assignment stuff is going to be homework for myself. So I'm going to look deep in the camera because I'm going to watch this again. Slow down, rest more, get smarter about work, and if you're going to work harder at something, work harder to get in conversations and rooms of people with more people that are farther ahead of you, that are doing the goals. I need to be around people whose every given Tuesday is my dream day. So that's the goal.
That's it. We
Eric,
appreciate you guys.
Eric, when you rewatch that, can you watch it on YouTube and then like and subscribe?
Yes, please watch it on YouTube. If you guys are watching this, we're trying to grow our Cali BBQ Media YouTube channel. We're doing more live content from the restaurant. We're obviously putting these live shows on there. Troy, thank you for watching it on YouTube. We appreciate that. And we will catch you guys next Friday. So January 3rd, first show of the year. Ashwin Kamlani will be on the show. We want all of you guys to join us so that we can have a great conversation to kick off 2025. Happy New Year's. Thank you, Mike, behind the scenes, producing the show today.
Go Broncos!
Gavin, Elizabeth, Dean, Earl, Jordan, Troy, Kyle, and Eric. Great show, you guys. Thank you.
I don't know who that is, man. Gavin, couldn't tell you.
10 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday game. All right.
Saturday game.